Take 22. Okay, so again, let me try this again. Hello, welcome to day 2 of my 2-week series, Goal Setting to Goal Getting. My name is JL Medeiros. I am a self-expression artist. I do self-portrait photography, I dance, and I also wrote my first book, Explore, Embrace, Express Dance Prompts Journal, which has 100 prompts to help you enjoy your creativity through movement. So I am big on all things creativity. While I'm here, let me just show you a book that I also love. It's called The Artist's Way, for anyone who wants to check that out on Amazon or wherever you buy books. And so basically, why I'm here doing this series is because in January, a lot of people get into this mindset of New Year's resolutions, goal setting, and such. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like for some people, this is not a pleasurable time. It's a time of pressure, a time where we are maybe being told or feel like, we should basically try to overhaul our lives, become a different person, new me, new year, whatever, And a lot of times we set goals that by February are in the bucket. And you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be this way. So if the idea of setting goals or resolutions, those particular words don't really align with you, don't really feel good to you, maybe just make you think of like frustration and failure, the need to be perfect, pressure, forget those words then. Instead, you can use the word desire, or desires, or intention. So setting intention for yourself for this month, this year, whatever it may be, however long you want to set your plan for. So for me, when I don't mind the word goals. I kind of like it. And I think because when I think of goals, I simply think of goals as things I desire. So whatever goal I'm setting, it's because I desire a certain thing. So I don't think of goals as a bad thing. I think of goals as a good thing, as a way to get clear on what it is that I desire and how can I get it and why do I even want it. So to me, it's more of like an experiment than this pressure cooker where everything has to be done perfectly. I have to put a certain place in plan on January 1st. It has to stay to the plan that I made. Don't vary it. Don't anything or you're a failure. I don't subscribe to that bullshit. I think of the new year as an experiment, a chance to play with different things and explore different things, try things, examine what in the past year has gone well. Like, what did I enjoy? What worked out well for me in one way or another? How can I get more of that into this year? And what didn't go well? What went wrong? Or what didn't feel good? Or, whatever it may be that I don't want to bring into this year. Including my own beliefs, my own attitudes, things like that. It's not necessarily just physical things or, friendships. It's also what are we internally bringing forward into this new year. So I do encourage you, if you have felt like a failure in the past with setting goals, or it's just been frustrating or annoying, that you stay tuned for these 2 weeks. I'm going to try to keep the videos short. I had planned on keeping this one 10 minutes, but I've decided I'm just going to talk for the length of time I need to talk for. And I'll do a quick wrap up at the end for anyone who just wants to skip over all of this. So I do encourage you to stick around for these 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. If you don't get any value from this at all in 2 weeks, I would be really surprised. So I do encourage you, show up, watch the videos with a notebook, preferably, when you can have some hopefully quiet time to really think and reflect on things. And just remember, this is not about perfection. You can't do it wrong. You're just doing what you're doing, and then you can make a decision. Is what I'm doing what I desire to be doing, or do I need to course correct? So I originally wanted this video to be 10 minutes long. It's probably going to be a little bit longer. Do I feel like a failure because I set a 10-minute limit for this video and now it seems like it will go over? No. It's an experiment. I thought maybe 10 minutes would be good. If it's not, then I'm reworking my plan, and that's okay. So what I wanted to do today was go over a few questions that I would like you to answer in your own time. Pause this video as you want, rewind, watch it again if you want, take notes, and really get super honest, because no one's going to see your answers but you. So get super, super honest with yourself. It can be very easy to blame other people or situations or, things that we say are out of our control on why we're not getting what we want. But if we really get honest, like real honest, sometimes we find that it's us, something we're doing or not doing, that's holding us back. And it's really not these other things that we say are the reason. Now, it's not always the case, but a lot of times, if you really get into the mode of self-examination, I will get that right, without judgment, with compassion and curiosity, you might discover some things. Yeah, it's like Lizzo says, truth hurts, right? But you know what hurts more is denying the truth and then living a life that really doesn't feel fulfilling to you. So that being said, I am going to ask you a couple of questions. I would recommend, if you can, be comfortable. If you like, get a candle lit or make some tea, really set this up so that it doesn't feel like work. It feels like pleasure. You're going to take whatever amount of time you choose to spend on self-exploration, self-discovery, possibilities, desires. So try to use a pen that you like or a device that you enjoy working with, like a journal that's nice. If you like, I like to sometimes write in the bath, just peaceful, quiet, soothing place. Maybe with some, gentle instrumental music, whatever it's going to be that you feel like I'm in this good space to examine these questions. So the first question is, what do you want? You might be surprised by how many times in conversation when I've asked somebody like, oh, what do you want? They, other than making exaggerated, ridiculous, answers just because it's easy and flippant to say, oh, I want $1 million. Well, yeah, don't we all? But what do you really want as an individual? Something that's you, not that everybody wants, or something very general. They'll say I want to be happy. Well, we all want to be happy, but what does that even mean? What do you mean happy? What does that look like in action? In your, how would that be reflected in your daily activities and your environment that you choose to create around you and things like that? So yeah, what do you want? And really think about it. What do you want? Not what does your family expect you to do, or your friends, or society, or whatever. When you strip all that shit away, if whatever you wanted, it made no difference at all to anybody at all. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, your decisions, your desires, they're not going to affect anyone, one way or the other. So try to go into that mindset so you can really get clear on what you want when you strip all other people's expectations, guilt trips, pressures, ideologies, all that shit away, what's left at the core? What do you want? The next question would be, and this is a really important one, why do you want this particular thing? And I want you to ask yourself why more than once. So for me, I want to start weight training again, not crazy, but just doing calisthenics and light weights just to kind of like build my muscle strength back up. Why do I want that? Because I want to be stronger and I want to work on my flexibility again. Well, why do I want to do that? Because I want a healthy body that feels like it's easy to move my weight around in a way that's very graceful and effortless. Well, why do I want that? Because I love to dance. It's one of my three favorite ways to express myself in this world is to dance. And I want to make sure that I keep my body as much as possible, while still enjoying my life in a way that it can move and function the way I want it to without it feeling like a lot of effort or getting hurt. I used to train quite a bit back in the day. And, the thing is, when you don't, it can be very easy when you go to do that thing you want to do to get hurt. So when I really dig past the first why and the second why, I realized the ultimate why, the core why, when I strip away all the outer layer, more superficial why, is because I want to set myself up to be able to dance into my older age. I'm 43. I'm not old, but I'm certainly not, a spring chicken anymore either. And I want to set myself up so I can dance in my 40s and hopefully my 50s and 60s and beyond. And I'm not going to do that by magic. I'm going to do that by the actions I choose to take right now. So when I don't feel like doing that training, which I probably oftentimes don't, but when I don't, I can come back to that core why, because just saying I want to get stronger is not going to be enough to get me off my ass. Okay. And just saying I want a healthier body that, just moves around more like easy. It's just easier to move around and stretch and do things. That's not going to do it either. But if I am getting to that core why, which is I want to be that woman in her late 40s, her late 50s, her late 60s, jumping out of the cake at 80 years old and dancing. And I'm not going to, again, get there by magic, right? So when I don't feel like doing it, I can come back to the point of that's why it's so important that I do it. Is that going to work every single time? No, but it's a lot more motivating to me than just I want to be healthier or I want to get stronger. You know what I mean? I could go on and on with examples. And if you want more examples of what I mean about that why, tell me, and I will be more than happy. I just don't want to take up too much time on it if you're like, I get the point. So what do you want? Why do you want it? Why though? Why? And then last, I want you to ask yourself, have you set goals in the past and not achieved them? And be honest and accountable. And why do you think why do you think things didn't work out as desired? And like I said, be accountable, be honest, like super honest. You don't have to say this out loud to anyone else. But if you can't be honest with yourself, you're not ever going to live a life that really feels fulfilled. It's just not possible. You got to be super honest with yourself about what you want and why you really want it. And why you don't have it yet. Is it just because you haven't tried yet? Is it because you've tried in the past and failed? If you did, well, then why did you fail? I prefer just to say not succeed. It sounds better than fail. Or even, you didn't get the result you desired. But why? What went wrong? Was it something truly out of your control? Or was it mindset issues? Was it, not proper planning? Like what fell through? And how can you avoid that going forward? If you know you sabotaged your efforts to say maybe start running in the mornings, I would never do that, but some people like to do that. But you stayed up late every night, and then you couldn't, then you like, felt like shit because you knew you was no way you were going to get up at the 5 or 6 a.m. you said you were going to before work and get that run in, because now you've been up till 12 or whatever. Maybe it's because you're out with friends who like to drink at the pub. Maybe it's because your husband, works late and now you wanted to stay up and spend time with him. What is the thing that in the past, this is the thing that's been the barrier? Because how can you work with that now? How are you going to avoid bringing that same problem? I wanted to swear so bad right there, but trying not to on this series. How can you avoid bringing that same problem into this new phase of your life, this new year? And, and the thing is too, listen, you really think your existence cares if it's January 1st or July 1st? It doesn't. You have the opportunity on any day at any time to decide, you know what, I want to do something different. There's just something about January, the idea of a fresh year, that can feel very motivating. So let's ride that feeling instead of denying it or shaming people for having it. Let's make it work for us. If you're feeling the call, and like, I should have mentioned this earlier. Let me mention this now, please. I'll be wrapping up very, very soon, right after this. Goals, desires, intentions don't always have to be about financial gain, losing weight, whatever, like going on some massive trip around the world. It doesn't have to be an overhaul of your life. A goal can be pleasurable. I had a goal to set up a little area in my space where I could keep my creative supplies, my paints, my brushes, my, chalkboard markers, my drawing papers, old drawings from the past, like, look at and be inspired by. And I did that. That's a pleasurable goal. That didn't feel like work. That felt like fun. It was fun to gather up all these like supplies, these little craft supplies and stuff, and put them in one little cabinet. Well, it's not super little. It's kind of whatever. I don't think you care, but either way, the point is your goals don't have to be anything that has to do with making money or losing weight or doing any of this stuff that makes you feel like you're under some pressure cooker, or you're doing something you don't really want to do, but society expects you to make money and lose weight and do this and blah, blah. Or you're doing it because that's what you think will get you likes on social media, right? We don't have to make goals that don't really align with us. And our goals don't have to be about anything that's going to put more pressure on our lives. Our goals can be to have more pleasure in our lives, to spend more time with people you really love and really love spending time with, to get more rest. For me, it's to take a bath at least a few times a week, because when I'm in the bath, I am super zen. That's my place where I can just write or listen to a video and just feel like I'm in my own little world. So again, just please remember, this is not about perfection. This is not about pressure. This is not about, I got to do the goals that I think I should do. Everyone else is doing this. This is what I think I should be doing. What you actually want to do. And please, for your own sake, make sure if you're doing a lot of work and a lot of things that feel like effort, balance that out with some fun and some playtime. We need balance in life. It's without that balance, we get burnout, right? It's either balance or burnout. You choose. But maybe I'll do a whole talk about that. And eventually all this will be going into a book. Oh my God, my little squirrel friend's here. Hi. I was going to show you, but my license plate's right there. I don't want to put it up for everybody. Right outside my window, there's a little picnic table meant for squirrels that my husband got me. It has a little red umbrella, and I put seed in there, and now my friend is here. He's so cute. You are so cute. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm getting too distracted now. So that is it. If this has been helpful to you, if at any point you find value in this 2-week series and you would like to make a donation, can be any amount. There's no amount that's too small to be appreciated. So if you're like, I want to give her a couple of dollars to get a coffee, thank you. If you're like, I want to buy her lunch, thank you. And if you're like, nope, I don't feel like donating anything, that is also fine. It is not an obligation. It is just an invitation. All right. Oh my God. He's just so cute. I'm sorry. I'm getting super distracted. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you tomorrow. Until then, take care.